Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here and welcome to episode 31 of my AS Monaco series. In this episode, obviously, is the mid-season review, which comes just after the January transfer window. So, yeah, we may as well get into the transfers straight away and go into the history. Let's see, what happened? Nothing much actually did happen. Two players came in. Both deals were set up before the window opened anyway. David Djordjevic came in from SK Sturm Graz, 17-year-old Serbian left back. Very good defensively, piss poor crossing, but he's also got good pace. And yeah, his mentals are fairly decent for a 17-year-old, but obviously needs more composure and concentration. And the other player was brought in. I have no idea why. I must have set the deal up at least 2 or 3 seasons ago, but it was Daniel Oliveira. He came in from Penarol for 120k, and as you can see, he's extremely poor. And yeah, he isn't even going to be thrown into the under-19s team because I don't want him taking any game time away from players that actually have decent potential. Not that he doesn't have decent potential, but he's just quite. Actually, he doesn't have any potential at all. He's only got 2 stars. Anyway, moving on to the outs, there was a lot of transfers outgoing. Where do we start? Where do we start? Um, all right, Sosa. First of all, Sosa brought in on a free transfer and was sold half a season later to Botafogo for 7.5 mil. Same thing with Eric Priya, brought in on a free transfer at the start of the season on a Bosman and was sold for 15 million to Roma. Neil Scott, sick and tired of his complaining about first team football and going out on loan, so I let him go to my favourite club in real life, which is Arsenal, for a measly 3.1 mil. And as you can see, he's actually on 44k a week now, so good for him. He's also already improved as well. His tackling's going up, and his acceleration and pace has also gone up. So maybe a bit of a loss there for me, as he could have done really well had I given him the game time he required. Artur wasn't getting used out on loan at Espanyol, so I brought him back, and then I just thought he's never really going to start for me. Not at the moment anyway. Good cover, but yeah, again, just wasted potential. So I sold him for 6.75 to Internacional in Brazil, and as you can see, I think he'll be happy in his home country. Another Bosman that came in this season was Pepe. I also sold him for 10 million to Atletico, simply because the players I brought in were obviously non-EU players, so I was massively struggling with the squad registration. Murillo Fabiano, the player I brought in from the Barcelona B team, he went out on loan to Atletico Mineiro, so he's gone back to Brazil. They've got actually quite a long season, so hopefully he gets a crap load of game time there. Mansour Fall, the French goalkeeper, went out on loan again, this time to Brussels in, Belgium. And same thing with Giovanni Ramirez. He went on loan for 15k a month to Anderlecht, and hopefully he can get some game time. I do expect big things from him, but again, he doesn't actually look like he's going to turn into anything too great, despite his 20 determination. So hopefully, well, actually, he's actually improving quite a lot already. So hopefully that favours him and he grows even more. I also sold his Peruvian counterpart, Saldana, who went to FC20 for 1 million, I think it was. Yeah, 1 mil. And he's actually improved a little bit as well. His pace has gone up a little bit, as well as his dribbling and crossing. But again, not really too fast. He was never going to play for me, even with the injury to Ersteprak. So I also brought Tesserin back in from his loan spell. Where was he? He was at Montpellier. So I brought him back from Montpellier. He, as you can see, only got 10 games up until this point, which I thought wasn't good enough because I do want him to be a first-team player in the future. Sorry. So I decided to loan him out to Stade de Reims for the rest of the season, who are a League 2 club currently, where I expected him to pick up a lot more game time, except he got a nice little injury. I can't actually see it. Oh, there we can. Sorry. Specialist treatment, out for 2 months. So yeah, that's kind of screwed up my whole plan there. But anyway, let's hop into the fixtures now, and then I'll show you a brief overview of the league table. So the previous episode was the Barcelona live com in the Champions League group stage. We then played Chamois Norte. I might just move this up a little bit. Chamois Norte beat them 3-0 away from home. Fairly straightforward game. Horacio Gomez with a brace and a Martin own goal. We then faced Marseille at home, and they absolutely thrashed us 5-0. Costa with a brace, AU with a brace, and Yarnum Villa getting on the score sheet for them there as well. We then faced Slovan Bratislava, beat them 5-0 away from home in another group stage Champions League game, this time with Ignacio Lopez, the new signing this season, coming out with 4 goals and a Moutinho penalty. We then faced Montpellier, beat them 3-1 away from home. Fairly straightforward game again. At Campos, they then equalised. We got a penalty. Moutinho placed it very nicely, and then Erstaprak also got a goal and picked up man of the match in that game as well. Ajax Sore was up next, a 4-1 away victory. Very impressive on the road, as you can see. Erstaprak, another Moutinho penalty, and a brace from Gulo Kanga. We then faced Bratislava again, beat them 2-0 at home, sorry. Moutinho penalty again, getting a lot of penalties at this stage of the season, and Lopez with a fairly late goal. AS Saint Etienne beat us at home in the league 2-0. Goals coming from our player on loan, Jacques Eduard Prival and Stambouli. So that was pretty disappointing for our own player to score against us, but I guess he's getting game time there, so yeah, he actually picked up an injury fairly soon after this. I think it was a 3 to 4 month injury. Anyway, we beat Bordeaux 3-1 away from home, which is a pretty decent victory. Bordeaux are no slouch in League 1. Gomez, Kanga, Erstaprak, all our goals fairly early on, and Joe, the Brazilian, got a penalty in the 80th minute for Bordeaux. We then lost to Benfica 2-1 at the Estadio, what is it called? The Estadio de Luz. Giron won, penalty. Ray Van Eek got a penalty for us, and Rodrigo, the right winger, scored for them. A player I've been looking at for the last few seasons. We then bounced back with a 5-0 home victory against Evian. Moutinho penalty, Gomez, a brace for Kanga, and Foray also on the score sheet. Probably playing at left back, I assume. Followed that up with another 5-0 victory, this time away from home to FC Metz. Papadopoulos, Bassi, a Gomez, brace, and Ignacio Lopez in the 91st minute. We then beat FC Nantes 2-0 at home. And Benjamin Adams finally getting his first goal for the club, and Gomez also on the score sheet, being ever present this season. We then first Barcelona again, this time at home. Could only manage the 1-1 draw there though. Gomez, as expected, and not Brazilian, he's Spanish. The Spanish youngster Ramiro from the Barcelona Youth Academy getting their equaliser. We then lost disappointingly to Angers SCO after that. Was away from home, but I do expect to win these games. But not when I get 2 players sent off. So Ulrich opened the scoring for us. They got a hat-trick through Paulinho, who is a striker, I believe. Yeah, he's a Portuguese striker. Not exactly like a world beater either, but he did get a hat-trick. Gomez also got one for us. And as you can see, Hadji and Van Eek, 2 of our defenders getting sent off, basically screwed us over. So yeah. We then played the Coupe de League 4th round, beat PSG 4-1 away from home, which is a pretty massive result. As you can see, Pepe, the player I sold, I decided to give him a game, and he absolutely tore PSG to shreds. Got a hat-trick right at the end of the game. Gustev, the Ukrainian young player that they bought at the start of the season, gave us an own goal, so I'm very happy about that. And they actually got a goal through my former Mexican player, Rosas. So yeah, a lot going on in that game, and very happy to progress to the next round. We then face FC Lorient again in league action. Gomez and Campos with a penalty for us there. We then versed, I have no idea how to pronounce this name, ASF Andrzejów, I think it's like that, something like that, Andrzejów. We beat them 4-1 at home. They did open the scoring, however, through Girard, a generated player. Lopez, Aubameyang, Lutzi, this player own goal, and Adams actually missed a penalty, which I don't actually know why he was taking it, but anyway. fair enough. We then bounced back in. Oh no, we didn't bounce back. We then went to. Oh, what am I saying? I'm totally confused. We then won 3-0 in the league against Havre Athletic, and all 3 goals came from. Oh my god, I've totally forgotten his name. I'm gonna have to look at that again. Gomez. It's Gomez, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Horatio Gomez. Anyway, back on track. We then faced Marseille in the Coupe de la Ligue quarterfinal at home. I actually played this game and we won 3-1, but then my game froze as soon as I advanced, so I had to reload it. And as you can see, they did take us to extra time, 2 penalties, and we actually won on penalties 4-2, which is a fairly inconsistent thing for me. I always tend to lose on penalties, so it was nice. But Moutinho scored our goal. Marcelo, the striker for Marseille, scored their goal. And as you can see, Moutinho was man of the match. And Fauré picked up a 5.4 match rating. So, yeah, good job, Fauré. FC Nantes was up next in the Coupe de France 10th round, beat them 5-3. Disappointing to concede 3 goals. Kanga, Lopez scored for a brace, and Papadopoulos also scored a brace. But Wagner, 21-year-old French left winger, and he's pretty average to say the least. Scored a hat-trick against us, and I can also sign if I wanted to, but I don't actually want to. So anyway, league action, beat Toulouse 2-1 at home. Gomez and Kanga, pretty much, our best 2 players so far this season. Shox Monteb was the last game I played, and we beat them 1-0 away from home. Charles Bassey in the first minute, and Kanga picking up man of the match there. So if we go to league table, as you can see, we're currently only 3 points behind PSG, with Marseille 1 point behind us, but we do both have a game in hand over Marseille. So, yeah. I mean, every time I look at this page, I just get so angry. The fact that PSG won 6 titles in a row, and we had a chance last season, but we threw it away to Marseille. And Marseille have actually bought a lot of good young players. If I have a look at their squad, we'll go into their first team very quickly, and we'll have a look at the age. If I do that, sorry. They signed this bloke. Oh, I hadn't even scouted him. Like, I didn't even know that he existed. And so they saw that they signed him, and he's an absolute beast ball-winning midfielder. Absolute tank. 18 heading. His physicals are pretty outstanding, except for his jumping, but he does have the 18 heading anyway. They bought him for 15 million. 15 million. That's a bargain for that player. He can also play at centre half despite his height. Oh, that's a really good signing for them. 22 caps for Russia already. They also signed Damali Henry, who's a Jamaican international. Very good striker, very much in the same mould as Aubameyang, with the pace. The finishing's not, amazing, but he's got very low heading, so he's pretty much a carbon copy of Aubameyang with better strength, basically. And they signed him for a measly 12.25 mil from Napoli. So, yeah, considering I paid 50 mil for Aubameyang, I think it was the second season, that is an absolute bargain. So yeah, they've got those players. They signed Jesse at the start of the season, brilliant striker. Obviously they got Kazuwa, our former player, who recently missed a penalty in that game. Marcelo, very good striker. Well, he doesn't actually look that amazing, but he plays very well. And of course they've got Costa, AU, Socrates, who's a very good defender as well. So yeah, that's the reason why Marseille are actually so good. And yeah, let's go through the goal scorers. Obviously Fierro, Haller, Gomez is right behind in 3rd place. Paulinho, obviously with that hat-trick against us, boosted him quite high up there. But if you look at the average ratings, as you can see, 3 of our players, are the top 3, Kangol, Gomez and Papadopoulos, respectively, with Lucas Moura of PSG just in behind, who actually is topping the assist chart, with Kanga just in behind with 13 assists. And yeah, good stuff, good stuff. So yeah, that basically rounds up this episode. I have set up a couple of deals I'll go through right now, actually. We have set up a deal for Milton Santibanez, who is a very good Chilean striker. I expect fairly decent things from him. Very good finishing, first touch dribbling, technique, and obviously passing. Composure's fairly decent off the ball as well, so he could be a very good striker for us. Um, and yeah, he's got 4 caps for Chile already. I have also set up a deal for Iker Muniain from Athletic Bilbao. Very good left winger who can also play as an AMC if I needed him to, which would probably be where he would start. Because I think Kanga might drop back into the deep line playmaker position. I'm not 100% sure on that yet, so he might, play left wing if I decide to sell a Campos off. I've also brought in Johan Francois as a backup first-team goalkeeper. He will challenge Jan Sommer, very good 23-year-old Belgian goalkeeper who is, amazing. So all 3 of those players were signed on free transfers, and I think they'll all add something to the squad. And if they don't, obviously I can sell them off for a massive profit like I have this season. So yeah, I guess it's a win-win type of situation. Anyway, if I go into the fixtures very quickly, we'll see who we have. We have Lyon in the next game, obviously, and then the game after that is Lyon again in the Coupe de Ligue semi-final. We've also drawn LOSC Lille in the Coupe de France 11th round, as well as Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League first knockout round. So all 3 of those teams are fairly decent, especially Dortmund, who are going to be very tricky to get past. But I think we could, I think we could do it this season. I really want to have a good Champions League run, if not win the whole thing. But obviously I would much prefer to win League One, as I think that's a more achievable goal right now. But I mean, I'll never say never, so yeah. If you enjoyed this episode, guys, and you've watched up until here, please give the video a like rating. It would mean the world to me, and obviously it would boost the video's perception out in the public, I guess. As well as subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with my Football Manager episodes, which are, back every other day now, so hopefully you're enjoying them, and I will continue to post them. So yeah, goodbye guys.